Hey Farm Fam, quick video today because it's springtime, we're really busy, and yeah. So I was hoping that we wouldn't have to talk about this or make this video because we were hoping that this year would be different. We had made a lot of changes and thought we'd done everything right, and still happened. The terrible bloat has struck and we lost a cow. Olive, she was a year old. Anyway, really devastating, really hard because we lost cows the first year to bloat, and we lost cows last year to bloat, and we just keep making improvements and changes in what we think will be better for the cows, and still wasn't enough. But we're learning, we're growing. Yeah, anyway, so I'll kind of show you what we do so we try our best to not have bloat. As you can see here, the cows are on, I just moved them into a fresh area. And a lot of our pasture right now, the majority is alfalfa, which is great feed, but it's very hot. And so as we're working into a more diverse pasture with different grasses and legumes and even weeds, you know, a lot of different things, that will be healthier for the cows. But as we're working on that, these are some of the things that we're trying to do different. So right here we have a straw bale. This is straw that we harvested last year, and most of it is really just stems with some seed heads and some leaves. It's not as hot, and it's not as hard on the digestive system, and so this we call roughage, and they eat this to go along with the alfalfa in the pasture, and it bounces out between this really high nutritious hot feed to this kind of, I guess you say, lower quality feed. So they get their nutrients from the pasture, but then they come to the straw bale and fill up their stomachs with it. With pasture this young, it's so hot, it's just so much going on with it that it's like eating high calorie foods all the time, and you could get sick off of it, you can get extra fat off of it. And so this allows for a more balanced diet to feed roughage, some lower quality feed along with the pasture. And we'll feed them this straw until the pasture gets older. Once we get through this first couple of months of growth, the pasture evens out and it's not as hot, and then it's easier for them to digest and work on without getting bloat. So right here, this is a bloat block, and we put it in an old tire rim to keep it off the ground and getting water and stuff on it, just make it last longer. And so this bloat block we give to them a few days before they go out on pasture, and then we're going to feed it to them probably for the rest of the spring, potentially maybe for the rest of the year until they're not on the growing grass anymore until it's winter. But anyway, this also helps to keep bloat down. So bloat is when the feed goes into the rumen, you know, there's gases and different things that go on to help break down the feed. And the same with ours, like our stomachs build gases and stuff when it's food, but you know, we usually burp it or, you know, flatulence, you know, different things to get rid of that. But when there's so much that goes on, a blockage happens, and the rumen or the stomach of the cow blows up and eventually, and actually very quickly, blocks off airways and organs and kills the cow kind of quickly, but I'm sure it's painful. But if we don't catch it right off the bat, then the cow will die. And so we have two blocks of this out. So we have this one, this block right here, that is a normal salt block that we give them. And it's just out here. The bloat blocks are good enough, but we just have that out there. So we have a normal salt block they have the rest of the year, and then a bloat block during the springtime. So those are some of the things that we're doing to try and help with bloat. And we thought we were doing a good job. I guess not, because we had a cow die. And what we think what happened is that they had eaten the straw all the way down, and then we had put them on fresh pasture, and it must have been long enough from eating the straw to going to pasture that they just had pretty much kind of an empty stomach going into it, and maybe that was too much, maybe they were too hungry. We don't know for sure, hypothetical. So now our system is, if they're running out of straw, or they've ran out of straw and we're gonna put them on new pasture, we're gonna put a bale of straw out first. Got someone, I think got Grace here. There we go, we got Grace right there eating. So we're gonna put out straw first for the first half hour to an hour. And once they've eaten on this straw for a while, then we'll open up that pasture for them to go in to make sure they're not getting this hot feed on an empty stomach. And cross our fingers, hope this works. Bloat is really common. If you have horses, it's kind of like colic. It happens, you do your best to avoid it, but I don't know, so much you can do, and things happen. So anyway, I guess to kind of finish up, we have a calf lineup. I've just been taking pictures. We have had a couple of new calves since I think I announced it last time. Thank you so much to Evelyn, Jackie, Roxanne, Yeti Fergie on TikTok. Thank you so much for sending in names. And those are just the ones that I've picked so far. I'll definitely shout out to anyone else when we get through those names. But thank you so much for your help. That has been really nice. Some of the names we find pretty funny, especially those with our sense of humor, naming the ones that will go for meat like ribeye, and we have Timmy Tri-Tip. We have Junior for Burger King, like a Whopper Junior. And we have Sir Sirloin. Anyway, thank you. Really appreciate it. That's kind of it for this video. Please like, subscribe, please comment, help us grow, get the word out. I really appreciate that. And remember to not stop caring.